Hi and welcome to another fun card making video. Today I'm having fun with infinity shaker cards. I did use in previous videos this pouch which is by Waffle Flower and it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Super easy to use and it covers up completely a card front. However, they came up with different shapes and different sizes that makes shaker cards really quick and simple. So here is a square one that covers up a 3 1/2 inch square panel. This is a smaller rectangle than the previous one. It is 5 1/4 by 4. Then you will find shaker covers for 3-inch circles and for 4 1/4-inch circles. And finally, if you are a fan of Slimline cards, here is a 3 by 8 shaker cover to play with. All of them include 5 covers in every package, so I'm going to leave aside the infinity larger one which was from the previous release. I did use it many times in previous videos throughout the year. And let's create 3 cards using infinity shaker panels using the new covers. And I'm starting with a circle cover. I'm using the 3-inch one. You need to look into your stars for a 3-inch circle. I do have the basic circles that fit inside that circle, but I do have those fancy ones, so I decided to go with one of the fancy ones since I noticed that it is exactly the same size, 3 inches circle, but it does give a lovely stitching. Now at the back of my panel, before I die cut anything, I'm going to add some adhesive. This is going to ensure that when I die cut the circle, it's going to be actually a sticker if I peel off the backing. Before I die cut my panel, I'm going to turn it around and I will add some inking. I'm just using a blending brush with Distress Oxide ink. I'm not going for the perfect blending here, I just want to cover up an area to look kind of blue. I can then place the circle on top and run it through my die cutting machine. So I can use the shaker cover on top of this panel and end up with an infinity shaker element. And now is the time to look into your stars and find any fun shaker elements to play with. I do have these little jars of fun elements. They are by Dress My Craft and you will find links down below on where you can get them. For my first card I'm going with a dessert mix. It's an adorable shaker mix and you will see close-up photos in a bit. So for now I need to peel off the backing of this cover. Now it's not milky anymore, it's nice and clear and it doesn't have adhesive at all. However, remember we did use double-sided adhesive at the back of our panel, so now I can peel it off, place that inside my circle cover and then I can easily wrap all those little flaps all around. And you can see all those flaps stick nicely at the adhesive at the back. If you don't remember to do that beforehand, no problem, just go ahead and add some double-sided tape or your tape runner. Don't fold all the flaps, make sure that you leave a little opening so that you can add your shaker mix inside. You will find that these covers create kind of a dimensional element and you can be as generous with your shaker elements as you like. Once everything is inside, just wrap the rest of the flaps. Everything is secured now and you have a lovely focal point for the top of your card. And since I used the Lacy dies for my panel, I did use the next larger die in line that gives that lovely lacy layer. Now let's find a sentiment. You can definitely stamp the sentiment inside that panel before you add the pouch on top. But I decided to go with the ready-made ones. These are pre-made, foiled and cut out for you. These are by Waffle Flower. They are really handy to have and you can find them with gold foiling like the one that I'm using here. You can find them with black stamping or even with silver foiling, I believe. Now I have found that the best way to stick something on top of the acetate is to use double-sided tape like I'm doing here, or you can go ahead and use your tape runner. I wouldn't suggest to use your white glue just because it's not mess free. So here is my little shaker element. All I need to do is to stick it on top of my card base. Now for my card base I'm going with this paper pad that has 2 faces on each page. If you fold it in half you will end up with a card base and you get all those different colors. It's really handy to have, just take it out of the block, fold it in half and you end up with a lovely card. Plus this is 80 pounds, it's not thin pattern paper. So I'm just grabbing my scoring board so that I can fold it in half. And notice that the inside is white, so you have the perfect card ready to go. I'm using white glue at the back of my shaker element. I'm going to stick it at the center of my card. And I'm going to call this one done. Super fun and easy to make, and I'm sure it's going to make someone smile. Here are some close-up photos on the first card for today, and notice how adorable this shaker mix is. For my next card I'm going with a big rectangle, so I'm starting with a navy cardstock and I'm going to cut it to the size of the shaker cover, so that's 4 by 5 1/4. For the previous card, my panel was just white and I inked it with my blending brushes. For this card I'm going with colored cardstock. You can definitely use pattern paper if you like for the inside of your shaker elements. And before I place the panel inside the shaker cover, I want to make it look a little bit more interesting, so I'm using a stencil with rays and I'm going over it with my blending brush and distress oxide ink. I'm going monochromatic here, so blue on top of blue, just a touch darker. You will see that it's going to give me a very subtle look. Now these new shaker covers do not have any adhesive on top of them, so I need to add some tape adhesive at the back of this panel. I'm going with a thin double-sided tape and I'm going to add some all around the edges. And now I'm placing the panel inside my cover. I'm going to peel off 3 of the sides and fold the flaps. And of course I need to leave one of the sides open so that I can add the shaker mix inside. By the way, if you do enjoy my videos, don't forget to leave me a comment and click the like button. This is really helpful and it helps my channel grow. So here is another shaker mix which is really fun. I know my American friends are going to love this one. It's called American Flag Star Mix and I think it looks stunning against the navy background. Now I'm going to turn it around, peel off the backing of the last flap. And my infinity shaker element is ready, looking stunning. Let's decorate it. So I grabbed the cheerleaders stamp. There is a stamp as well as matching ties. You can use the bunch of cheerleaders or the individual ones. I decided to go with the bunch of cheerleaders. I thought it would be lots of fun. I did stamp that, I colored it with my alcohol markers and then used the matching die to cut it out. Since I'm focusing on this video mainly on the shaker elements, I didn't show you the whole process, but I'm sure you get the idea. I used red, blue and white for coloring them, and I did use some double-sided tape at the back, so I'm going to place it at the bottom. And to finish it off, I did use one of the sentiments from the same stamp set as the cheerleaders that says cheer up. And the truth is that when I'm making shaker cards, I just can't stop shaking them. Anyway, I'm going to stick this panel on top of a white card base that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this card is finished. If I had to pick a favorite from today's 3 cards, I think I would go with this one. Let me know in the comments below after you see the third card which one you loved the most. So for the third card, let's make a square one. I'm peeling off the backing again. And then this is a cover for a 3 1/2 panel, square panel. You can either use one of your nesting dies to cut that out or just use your paper trimmer. So again, I'm using one of the pages from the Half and Half Dots Unicorn paper pad, but this time instead of folding it in half to create a card, I'm just going to use both panels for their pattern. So I'm cutting out a 4 1/4 square and then a 3 1/4 square, using both the designs. Now again on the smaller panel that fits inside the shaker cover, I'm going to add some double-sided tape all around the edges at the back and then place it inside the cover, peel off 3 of the sides and fold the flaps. Now this time as my shaker elements, I'm going with those crystal flowers. I love them because they are silver and who knows how many years I have them in my stash. It was about time to use them. I find they are really fun and they are completely flat, so they make the perfect shaker mix. Now these are by Studio Katia, by the way. And just like always, you will find links to everything I used down below in the description. For embellishing my card, I'm going to use one flower. This is the Wild Rose stamp set from the latest release by Waffle Flowers. I did stamp it, colored it with my alcohol markers and used the matching die to cut it out. And then for my sentiment, again I went with one of the ready-made foiled sentiments by Waffle Flower. I decided to go with the one that says thank you, and this is silvered foiled, so they match the little shaker mix inside the pouch. And now I need to stick this panel on top of a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square card, and you can see how dimensional it is. Here are some close-up photos on all the 3 cards that I made for today. I hope that you had fun, that you got inspired. Links to everything I used can be found below. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.